What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I'm gonna be talking about the first chapter of the first chapter in the first part called "The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat" in the book "The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat" by Dr. Sachs. I don't know his full name. I think it was Oliver Sacks or something. Okay, so this chapter is the beginning. There's this man. His name is Mr. P. This is in the book. This man's name is Mr. P, or Dr. P, and he's a music teacher. And so there's something weird about Dr. P though. I'm gonna call him Mr. P because I'm not sure if he's a doctor. He has a PhD, but I'm gonna call him Mr. P. And so Mr. P. And so, sorry, my phone started glitching. But anyways, Mr. P was this dude, and he was a music teacher, like I said. But there's something a little weird about him. Sometimes he will make these little mistakes, mistaking one of his students for the other, or saying hi to inanimate objects and being angry when they didn't reply back, or being rude when they wouldn't reply back. Or he'd again make these different mistakes. I have a scissors and a scrunchie here. He would be oh wow, these are the scissors, or this is the scrunchie, or make little mistakes like that. So one day, since he has diabetes, since he gets diabetes, he decides to go to a doctor just to make sure everything's okay, as because when you get diabetes you can get some other little side effects too. So he's okay, let me go to the doctor. So he goes to the doctor, and guess what they find out? Dr. Sachs is his doctor, obviously. And so he's wait, there's something a little weird about you. Whenever Mr. P stares at me, he doesn't take in my entire face as a whole. He fixates on certain points of my face. So he would focus on my lips, or he would focus on my nose, or he would focus on my eyebrows or my hair or something like that. He wouldn't look at the face as a whole. He would only look at it in certain spots, and that makes up the entire picture. And so something happens when Dr. Sachs accidentally, he takes off his shoes. Dr. Sachs tells Mr. P to take off his shoes so that he can see to see his reflexes on his toes, because the sole of your foot is usually pretty ticklish. So he's trying to test his reflexes. And so he tells him to put back on his shoe. And so when he comes back from somewhere, Mr. P still hasn't put back on his shoe. So Dr. Sachs is what's going on? Do you need help? And it turns out that he accidentally mistakes his feet for his shoe. And then again, so this is in his clinic. All of this, the testing, shoe stuff, happening in his clinic. So Dr. Sachs knows something's wrong, but he doesn't know exactly what is wrong. So he's okay, maybe we should go to his home instead and see what happens then. So he goes to his home, and again they tell him a little bit about myself. He tells him a little bit about himself. They eat dinner together, stuff like that's going on. And so it turns out when when Mr. P is doing anything, he always hums or sings or something like that. Pretty sure that's what happens. He always hums or sings. And whenever his singing is disrupted, he becomes disoriented. It's wait, what am I doing? What's happening? What is this? So again, Dr. Sachs takes note of that. And then when he tells him to put on his hat, when Dr. Sachs tells Mr. P to put on his hat, he takes his wife's head and tries to pull it off. He just takes his head and tries to oh, where's my hat? And so Dr. Sachs is wait, something's definitely wrong. So he tells him to look at pictures, right? Tells him to look at pictures and tell him what he sees. So he shows him a picture of the Sahara Desert, shows him a picture of a cartoon, puts on live television, shows him a picture of people. He shows him pictures of people of his own family, and it turns out that he has prosopagnosia, which is he can't recognize, face blindness. So he has trouble recognizing people and objects. But the thing about prosopagnosia is just face blindness. But in general, he has agnosia. So which means, again, the inability to recognize objects and stuff, or certain stimuli. In his case, objects. Okay? So he can't really recognize. He sees everything as a problem to solve, or a puzzle or schematic. If you were telling me to find out who this person was, or to find out the person's expression or how this person's feeling, someone would just be oh, they're feeling sad, they're feeling happy. But he's okay, their smile is or are they smiling? What is their lips like? What do their eyes look like? What do their nose looks like? What are they doing with their hands? Stuff like that. He wouldn't look at the picture as a whole and just be oh, they're happy, But yeah, Mr. P sees everything as like a schematics and stuff. He can't even tell when someone's like happy or sad or anything like that because he can't like recognize facial expressions as a whole. And so the reason why he was able to like go on being a music teacher is because he recognized people by their music. So music helped him to become like a little bit oriented to the world. That's what helped him to anchor him to the world. So like his students, he couldn't recognize them when they were just like sitting still, but once they started moving, he was like, oh, so this is the way this student moves, like this is the way this student talks and stuff, so I know that it's this person. And he used stuff like that to continue to like, you know, move on, and that's what helped him to continue like living the way he did. Like when he waked up, he'll be like, okay, my stuff is usually over here, my toothbrush is usually over here, my stuff like that, and that's what helps him to like continue moving on. And so again, the story was like kind of sad. There was also another point where when Dr. Sachs was in his house and then he saw like the paintings or the drawings that Mr. P made, and they became like little concrete. They started from becoming like really concrete to becoming really abstract, and that showed like how his agnosia got worse, and he wasn't really able to like draw certain objects and stuff. So his objects just became like abstract as he lost like all sense of like self kind of, and he lost like all sense of like being able to recognize stuff. So he couldn't recognize anything anymore, so that's why his drawings became really abstract and stuff. So yeah, that's the end of this video. If you like this video, then make sure you like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you never miss a video when I upload, and make sure that you guys also go check out the book if you want to, if this seems interesting to you. But yeah, that might be like a good idea if you like care about stuff like this, if this seems interesting. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.